Yo, so Never Settle podcast
576?
in the garage.
Yeah, we moved.
Yeah, this is Never Settle podcast number 417 and a half. So,
0.5.
yeah, so welcome to Never Settle podcast 417 and a half. We got Andrew here, your boy.
Master Uguay. Andrew and Master Uguay, this is the new setup.
Yeah, I know, bro.
This looks
It's
so
looking
much
sick.
better. I was just telling him. This looks so much better. And for the 5 of you who watch this, I know
yeah.
you think this looks so much better than what we had. That gloomy,
No,
depressing
right?
room. I've rigged it to blow after this. Don't worry. It's gone.
Yo, but let me tell you, shout out to Ryan, bro, because he was actually referring to our podcast when we were talking. So I thought that was
Really?
pretty sick. Yeah.
Yo, no way. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
shout out him for real.
What was he talking about?
I don't remember exactly what we were talking about off the top of my head, but
Right.
yeah, he had referred back to something we said on the podcast, and I was like, we have a listener. So I messed with it. So,
Yeah,
but yeah.
cool.
So anyway, I did have one thing that's been pressing on my mind today that I had to get off my chest real quick.
Go
and
for it.
I'm gonna say this to you. Obviously, camera's rolling, but this is a conversation,
Mhm.
and this is. I think I'm gonna live by this for quite some time now, bro. Whatever people push the hardest, whatever they try to convince you. Whenever somebody tries to say oh, this is better than this, and they really, really push for it, or they push you to do something else, like society pushing everybody to change their genders and do all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think they push it so hard? Because it's wrong, right? And they're trying in every way to prove that it's right. Things that are right don't need proving. Things that are good don't need to be proven that they're good.
That's a good point, yeah.
And people know inherently that they're good. They don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
That's like a
they'll try to
main point.
justify it as best they can.
yeah. So,
Dude, yeah, society is like it what's the word I'm looking for? It desensitizes us
yeah.
to just sin. Right? It's sin in general. It desensitizes us to sin so that, it's portrayed as like, oh, it's this fun new thing. Everybody's doing it, this and that. And yeah, that's literally the world we live in today where,
Yeah.
Sin and evil has become known as fun and everybody's doing it. And, you know how it is. It's
Bro, that brings me to another point that I was thinking about
disgusting.
today, right? I was at work and I was trying to fathom the fact that people's excuses for not following God or it takes away the fun of life or it, that's like one of their main excuses, right?
right.
They're like, oh, I feel so restricted. I feel like, bro, and I may have said this to you a couple of days ago, but like, bro, I'm having more fun than I ever have following God.
Oh, yeah, I am too.
Like building a relationship with God. I've never had more fun in my life.
Right. I feel like it's the best way to bring out who you are. Right.
Yeah.
You might have, fun in the moment with all this like sinful things that you're doing, but in reality, you never really get to know yourself and really experience the full benefit of knowing yourself.
Yeah.
If you keep doing that stuff, you get stuck in those ways. You're a slave to sin. That's how I've been reading the Bible a little bit. Well, I've been reading the Bible for a while now, but I've been reading it a little bit more lately. And one of the things I read recently is, how if we continuously sin, it's like we're a slave to sin. It's like it has us captive, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a slave to sin, you're literally a slave. A slave has all these restrictions and this and that. Like, it's crazy how people say, like, they feel if they follow God, they feel restricted. In reality, when you're a slave to sin, that's when you're fully restricted. They think the benefit in their mind, the benefits of the sinful life they're living are like all that's good and all that's there. When in reality, if you follow God, he has something 10 times better for you. That's what people fail to realize. They think they're being restricted and that, they get cut off from all these sinful things they think are fun. But in reality, God has something 10 times more fun than the sin you've been doing. You just, if you you can't be lukewarm about it because he's not going to give you anything.
Yeah, it's a shame.
That's what most people do is like, all right, so they're like, okay, let me try to follow God. They don't really do it. They like kind of like half-ass it.
Yeah.
And like, you're not going to go anywhere like that. You have to give him your all fully, and you have to show him that you can be consistent with that. Then he's going to be like, all right, I know you're about it now. Here's your first blessing. Here comes the second one. Here comes the third one. And before you know it, you're living a life and you're like, where we're at, this is so much better than where I was before. But people don't even take the time to try,
Yeah, it's a shame how everything that's, used for good ends up getting twisted.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame. But I did want to segue into, I'm going to make a video on this eventually. But I might as well get it out the way on the podcast now because I want to hear your opinion on this, right?
Go for it.
Move this table over the way. But, all right, let me look at my phone real quick as to what I wrote down.
Got you.
Right. So I was at work just yesterday. And while I was working, I thought I was listening to a Kanye song. I think it was Follow God, or it was on that Jesus is King album. I forgot which song it was. I think it was actually a slower song. So, but anyway, and I was thinking, I was like, dang, this album is so good. I wish Kanye made a Follow God too. And then, not Follow God, Jesus is King too. Like the second version of that album.
Right.
And then a thought hit my head just like immediately after that. And then I was like, wait a minute. Music, we call these, like people who make music, we call them artists, right? So when you think of their music, we think, oh, it's just music. But in reality, if they're artists, that means what they put out is artwork. So every song that's put out there, every album that's put out is essentially a piece of art.
Yeah.
And pieces of art are one of a kind, right?
Of course.
When it comes to art, if you want something to have value, it has to be a one-of-one piece.
Right.
And so I put in here, what I wrote down I was like, think of everything that's ever been created, like content, any type of content, so music, movies, just think of that as a piece of artwork, right?
Right.
So for example, I wrote down is when, I don't know was it Da Vinci that made the Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wrote down, when Da Vinci made the Mona Lisa, if people asked him to make another, he'd probably look at them crazy and say the Mona Lisa is the Mona Lisa. It's a one-of-one piece to never be replicated or copied. It's its own thing, right? It's a one-of-one piece. The reason the Mona Lisa is the Mona Lisa and everybody knows it as like one of the most famous art pieces in the world is because it's a one-of-one piece. It can't be copied. It can't be replicated. Its value is in how unique it is, right? So I was like, if you look at music this way, or I even took it a step further. I wrote down what I was thinking at the time. I was like, I'll take my favorite Kanye album, Graduation, for example. If you asked him to make Graduation too, he'd be like, that's not possible. Like, each piece is its own art.
Right.
And there's a reason why people are always like, oh, I want the old Kanye flow, or I want the old Drake flow, or, you know what I mean? Like,
they're referring to that one piece.
Yeah. They're literally pieces of art which can't be replicated.
Right.
Like, obviously, you can try and make the same thing, but it's not the same thing. It's one of one, never to be copied again. So I was going to tie this back to what we should be doing in our lives, and this is going to help you when it comes to making content. Anybody who's watching that makes content, or anything you put out, for example, like anything. If you make movies, like take this for example, or if you make music, if we make videos, even when it comes to your work, businesses, all this stuff, right? So I was like, think of this, right? So apply this to everything you do. Think of it as artwork. So like I was just saying before, content creation, any businesses, remember to put your own style into it, make it unique to you, and something that can't be replicated or copied. And I was just like, wow. Because when this was all hitting me, and it's a lot, I didn't write it the best as I could. I was working at the time. But if that makes any sense, it's just like, we are like, God made us, right?
Yeah, we're one of one pieces.
Unique. We're basically his artwork, right? So we should be living as such. We shouldn't be living to try and copy a past version of us or another another person that, like, we're our own thing. And we have to apply that to everything we do with our minds, our hands. Like, when we create things, it has to be us, right?
Right.
So, I also wrote down, and I'm sure you can agree with this. This is the issue I see with modern day music and movies, and even content creation. Nobody has originality, and instead of looking at their work and seeing it as art and leaving it be and just making what they make, they see it as a money grab, and they'll make like a second and third movie. Like, how many times have we seen movies that don't need a part 2 or a part 3,
Right.
but they make them anyway? Like, come on, bro. Like, don't you think that Madagascar should have just stayed at Madagascar? They did not have to make a 2 and 3 or whatever, like, or Cars. Like, these are like good movies, right? And if you look at them as art pieces, you won't go out and then ruin them, right? And that's what I was comparing it to here. It's just like, these people like, they'll take something that has originality, never been done before, and what they'll do is, out of like greed and just like want for more and more and more, instead of appreciating the art form that they just created. It's beautiful. It's like an art piece, right? They'll take the same material, reuse it, put it in a different form, and what ends up happening is once you do this, it destroys the originality, ruining the value of the original piece.
Yeah, dude, that's 100% true. I agree, but so when you said all that, my mind immediately jumped to like TikTok and YouTube, how everybody wants to make like basically the same exact content and the same exact format with the same exact like key points. It's just like, because they're like, oh, that's what gets views. That's what, you know.
And I hate that.
Like, I hate that social media creation has become so repetitive and so like, oh, I got to do it this way to get all these views and get all this, all these likes and all this bleh. Like, I go on TikTok now and it's like, I've seen this. Oh, it's the same. Oh, like I'm scrolling through and I'm like, I've seen all of this. I'm sick of it. Same thing with YouTube and everything. So like, I'm trying to start a YouTube channel, but even myself, I'm like, I find myself, like, I go to create something and I'm like, and then I think to myself, like, this has been done before. Like, this is, I see this all the time. I don't want to do this. So I'm going with the YouTube channel and I will create a successful YouTube channel. Like, that's in my head. It's something I want to do, but I want to do it my way with my own creations. Like you were saying, I want each one of my videos to be almost like a piece of me, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to do it for the views, for the subscribers, to get big and blow up and become YouTube famous. I don't want to do any of that. I want to create YouTube videos because, I want to create something that's unique to me,
right?
Each and every video. I want to create and just have my creativity kind of flow through that and see what it is that I can create. Yeah. And I've been struggling to do that because, all I have in my head right now is like what everybody else is doing. And I guess I'm trying to like break out my creativity, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it's all like caged up right now. Yeah. And I feel like day by day, like a little bit more is coming out, but I gotta just blow up that cage and let it all flow. And that's when I'm gonna get the quality YouTube videos that I want to be putting out. So I'm working on that right now.
I mean, content creation is obviously the easiest example when it comes to this, or movies or anything like that. But it's just like, even in our daily life, we can look at what we do as almost an art form. And I'm wondering if, like, I'm going to try this out. But I'm like wondering, like, because obviously a lot of people do the same things for convenience, or it's just like, this is just how it's been done for years and years and years. But like, not like the normal mundane tasks that you do throughout the day. It's just like more stuff where you have your own like hands on, right? And I can't really think of any examples right now. But like, if we start to live life this way, I feel like everything we do will naturally become better people. Because now you'll be known for something almost. You'll be like, oh, he does this.
You'll be
this
just
way.
so much more interesting.
Yeah, right? And another example is just like, bro, all these famous YouTubers or famous TikToks, they're just the original creators of whatever their niche is. Like this, I know you were just
That's
touching
facts.
on it, but bro, it's complete BS, right? To see videos telling you about how this is how your content blows up. You use these hashtags. You make this type of video. Blah 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 blah.
I hate it, bro. I want to just boom every time
Bro.
I hear that stuff.
What is the originality out there? Are we
It's
gonna
like
become?
copy and paste, bro?
Yeah. Are we gonna become like a society where everybody does the same exact thing when it comes to content creation? That's not the reason for content creation. The reason for content creation is so that everybody has their own, like their own thing to bring to the table.
Right.
Like, bro, and you know with me, bro, I hate the videos that I make. Like it's the same
Right.
stuff you see everywhere. And that's why I was having that dilemma the other day. I was like, bro, I don't like what I'm doing because I'm not doing what it's not a piece of me.
Mm.
Like, yeah, the thoughts or the quotes or whatever come from my head, but it's just like, bro, it's not me. Like, I don't like making this video. There's a different type of video I like making.
Right.
And it's just like, bro, we can't all be sheep, bro. We have to be the wolf. We can't be following these trends, bro.
It's even with not even
Life is
creating
art,
something.
man.
Not even creating something, right? Just people in general.
Yeah.
Like it can all go back to, like,
Do this out of personality, bro.
huh?
Like people's personality.
Right.
Like,
Well,
look at yourself. Like, don't look at yourself like you're not good enough to hang out with other people or that your personality is not good enough. Like, you're a
Right.
one of one piece. Start to work on
Yeah.
yourself. Think of yourself as artwork, right? And artwork doesn't just appear on a canvas.
Right.
You have to work on it.
that's the mindset you got to have when, we live in a world where everybody wants to be everybody else.
It's ridiculous,
Right.
bro. Like, how is that going to work?
Dude, you
Society
gotta,
will fall apart if that's the case.
see, we talked about this even at the beginning of this when we were saying, one of the benefits of following God is like you find yourself.
Yeah.
I'll say that again. Like, one of the benefits that you get with following God is you discover the unique personality of yourself. You get to be you.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun and exciting. So you're so full of excitement when you just, start to realize things about yourself and start to become who you actually are. Then people start looking at you like, wow, he's like, he's got all these different types of whatever about him.
Yeah.
Like they can't even describe it. Like you
Right, because
become
it's
who
unique.
you are.
Yeah.
You're not like a copy and paste of all these other
Right.
people, bro.
And
It gets me so annoyed.
that
bro.
is one of the things to become. I don't want to say like high value man or anything. None of that crap, right?
Yeah, no.
This is one of the things if you want like people to genuinely enjoy who you are or anything, right? Just to become that person,
Yeah.
You have to be known for something. You don't want to be known for, oh, he just does what I do, or he just does
Right.
what everybody else does. You want to be that dude that people come to you and you're like, he's an expert at this, and this. And nobody else is like an expert at that. There's a ton of things in this world, and yet sometimes we think that there's just like everything is already kind of taken. But bro, basketball had been around for years, and nobody was still as good as LeBron or Steph Curry or Michael Jordan. Like, bro,
Yeah.
like these things can be around, and you can become good at it. And I'm like kind of segueing off into something else, but I'm just saying it's just
No,
like,
it's still a fair point.
yeah, it's just
It ties in with all this, but
like you just want to be known for something. You don't want to be known to be a copycat, bro.
yeah,
You want to be known for creating. Like, who can I think of right now? I don't know why Mr. Beast is in my head right now, but like Mr. Beast is like, I'm sure as hell he wasn't the first one making
Mr.
videos
Beast.
like that. Positive. I know.
Right.
I can't name names right now, but I've seen videos that had Mr. Beast style in them before he took off. Right. It's just so these things can exist, but you can become the best at it. Like podcasts can exist, but we become the best.
Right.
You know, content creation can exist, but we make the best content. Self-improvement videos can exist, but we make the best self-improvement videos. You know, think of it
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, you always have the top person for kind of like every category. So
Right. But even if you don't make it to the top, I mean, regardless, you put the work in.
This thought's in my head right now. Just create your own category. Like
that too. Like
you can. Yeah, that's kind of like what I have in my head. What I kind of want to try to do is like I want to create something that's like never been done before. Like a whole new, just like
I think about that all the
I don't
time.
even know. Like I don't even know in my brain or what I'm saying right now, but it's gonna happen.
I know.
Like,
I mean,
I'm just gonna create. I don't even know what.
I was thinking about it at work today, and I swear I can't tell you how many times I said that already.
Yeah.
Like, I have this thought at work. I had this thought at work. But it's like, I had this thought at work today. I mean, I don't really know if you know C-Day, but back when Fortnite was in his prime, bro, C-Day had been making videos on YouTube for years, and they were probably getting like maybe at least under 10K views a video, right?
Right.
He had been consistent, so he kind of had some views on his videos, but nothing crazy, right? Then Fortnite rolls around. He creates his own niche type of video. Like, he was good at Fortnite. He was making Fortnite videos, but he was also commentating. He was adding a bunch of memes, doing all this stuff, doing a bunch of challenges that nobody else was doing. Then, like, so he started that kind of niche, right?
Right.
All of a sudden, he went from getting, like, under 10K views a video on his, like, old stuff, GTA videos and Destiny videos. All of a sudden, his Fortnite videos get, like, 10 mil views a vid. It's like, bro,
That's
blew up.
crazy.
He created his own niche, he put his own personality into his videos.
Yeah, his own
his
uniqueness.
videos are an extension of him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do.
We need to stop looking at our videos as if they're just videos, right? Our videos are us. And I know it tends to get skewed in this what's it called? In this metaverse, like, society now, but it's just like, content creation isn't separate from you. Content creation is literally you on camera. No difference.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you
It's
on
an
camera.
extension of you. People think that it has to be separate. It should just be you and being able to project you to other people that don't have the opportunity to be around you in person.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I like that. That's like resonating with me in my head right now. I'm thinking about it. I mean,
just look at it like that. Like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when I start spewing. Because sometimes I can start off with no material whatsoever. But if
Right.
I start talking,
Dude, most of these
things will
podcasts have been just like, all right, what are we going to talk about?
I'm trying to
Something
lock
comes
in,
up
bro.
and we're like, whoa.
This is ridiculous. I'm trying to lock in, bro. I don't
Yeah.
even know how, like, this week flew by.
No, it did.
And
It did.
every day that I wanted to do something, either something came up and I was like, okay, after this, I'll get down to writing it down.
Right.
And then something would come up. All right, after this, I'll get down to writing questions and all material.
Nah, see, I didn't even remember any of this stuff. I got done everything else that I wanted to do throughout the week. I just forgot about this thing completely. But that's all
If
right.
you have nothing else, we can just
We-
end it there. We'll have a shorter podcast.
Right. Well, I mean, we have the new setup, right?
Yeah.
We can just, when you get back from Miami, we can just regroup, go with what we were talking about before,
Yeah.
and just be better from here on out. So
Yes, sir.
new setup is like the bright light
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go us. Get
I'll
us
definitely
forward.
be spewing some good stuff when I come back from Miami.
Yeah, get a lot of content while you're down there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have to get a second battery and a third battery and another SD card. So, because
Do it. You have like
Needs to be
2
done.
days, bro. Get it done.
But yeah, so we'll end it there.
I'm going to throw my mic at the camera.
Anybody who watched, thanks for tuning in to the Never Settle podcast. We're trying our best, huh? Well,
Yeah.
not trying our best, but we are trying.
A thought came into my head while we were talking, like midway through this. I was just thinking, damn, like, think of how far not only we've come as far as like what we have as equipment and surrounding us, but how far we've come like mentally, like
Oh yeah.
where we started back like end of December, beginning of January, like where we were mentally, and then now it's like
It's great, man.
might as well 5 years have passed.
All glory to God.
Yeah.
None of this is us.
Nope.
He's using us
To do good things.
to project these good thoughts. So
Yep.
hopefully it helps, and hopefully you're able to take something from
One
this.
day we're gonna blow up with some kind of content, whether it's this, YouTube, TikTok. We're gonna.
We're just
be
gonna
big.
stay consistent.
Yeah,
man.
we're gonna be big on
Keep
something.
improving. Never settle, baby. Let's go.
You're